smash the like button and subscribe. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
The election's held today. Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump, every time. And I have
Okay.
a reason. You know, I am in
Can I
the.
thank some people first, real quick?
Yeah. Go on, go on.
Madam, by the way, thank you so much for the membership subscription. Thank you very much. And thank you so much for the dollar. Thank you. I mean, I think it looks a little bit better with the lights, but I think that like it also looks good without. I thought it would just be interesting to try to see what people would think. I have some more people to think. I have a lot of people to think, actually, everyone. Spicy, thank you so much for the $7. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Without the lights, looks more professional and makes you look warmer. Well, that's true. I feel like it does make me look maybe a little clearer, like in a certain, and I guess not clearer, like the camera wise. I guess maybe I need to find out maybe it makes me stand out more. That's what it is. Sorry, that's what I was trying to think. It makes me stand out more without the lights in the background. I guess if that makes sense. Ethan, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. As well as Joe, thank you for the $5. Thank you very much. And by the way, Kenna, thank you so much for the membership subscription. Interesting that Trump attacks Iran and creating an oil surge, and then literally wants to go towards. Yeah, that's why he's probably talking about statehood in terms of Venezuela, is because he wants oil. Like that's literally what he's bringing up right now. As well as Chip, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, that would have been a good point to bring up against them. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Cornell, thank you for the $20 as well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. They said crude oil prices steadily decreasing until its peak caused by COVID in 2022. Because of last year, $57 increasing this whole year, reaching $67 in 2026 by the start of the war today. It's $96. Yeah, it's really ridiculous. So CAW, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. They said the economy's not better. My company just cut staffing by more than 7%. This cut was due to the direct import of tariffs, raising oil prices, and unpredictability of Trump's actions. Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate CAW. Lamont, thank you so much for the $20 as well. For it's annoying that constantly mispronounce Kamala's name. Thank you so many times for how you correct them. Absolutely, I always will. Thank you so much. A girl as well, thank you for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I missed the lights. I will not miss the Christmas decorations. Okay, well, I'll need to move them. Silver, thank you for the $5. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. CK, thank you for the $10. Thank you very much. Good W's for them in the comment section. Zippy, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. Mr. James Bond, thank you for the $2. Thank you. Chloe, thank you for the $5. Bridget, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $10. Thank you. I think I am fully caught up there, as well as Gwendolyn. Thank you so much for the $50. Thank you so much on Venmo. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Get some W's for them in the comment section right now. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the $50. Thank you. It collectively seems like a waste. What are your thoughts? I get a lot of requests to donate to Dem candidates because I used to donate, but with billionaires giving so much more than we can, we collectively, it seems like a waste. What are your thoughts? I think it still could be important, and it still is effective. It has, like, obviously an effective basis to do so. But I do think that there are obviously other things that could be more effective as well outside of that you could obviously go into. So it's really just like whether or not you continue to see it to be effective still. I still do think it has effectiveness depending on the candidates. I think grassroots donos matter for candidates that are progressive a lot. That's what I would say. For sure. Alexandria, thank you so much for the $2 for Without the Lights. You appear more approachable. But whatever you decide is great. Yeah, I'll definitely think about it. Alrighty. Why do you support Donald Trump?
It's a special reason. I'm sometimes in the lives of, you and the other guy. I think his name is Dean. And I do a special job for a living, which is like, it's trading. And, Trump like provides a very good volatility, let's
I have a question. What
and
state do you live
sorry,
in?
California. I'm half American, half French.
Okay.
But yeah,
And
right
what
now
time
I
is
live in
it?
California. 5 p.m.
5 p.m. in California?
No. In
I might have cut them a little bit early, but 5 p.m. Not even close. Currently 12:39. Let's go on the next individual. Only do send a guest request if you meet that criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
22.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Election was held today. Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
Still Trump.
Okay. What? What's your birth year, by the way?
2007.
For sure. MM, thank you for the $20 to use a green screen and make me look at him in the Oval Office. Maybe. You said you said what year again?
2007.
And you said you're how old?
18.
And what month were you born?
November.
Okay. Alrighty. Why do you support Trump?
Shit, where to start? He just makes my pussy wet, bro.
Okay, let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We're just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Alrighty, let's get this next person up here real quick. Alrighty. Jesus, what was that microphone? What the f was that? By the way, if you're on YouTube, everyone, for the 3.9 thousand people, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Everyone, it helps get out to more people. Let me know how many likes we're at on the YouTube stream, everybody. If for people on TikTok, let's tap that screen. Let's get to 1 million likes, everyone. Literal fetus. Like, literal fetus. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
29.
Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Election held today, Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
Today?
Yeah.
Trump.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
I support the family values. I'm very religious, and I very much believe that family values are the core of society, and if we go off stray and if we get all these crazy things that we have today, you know, that everyone's pushing for it, I don't know, it just leads to the downfall of a country, I think.
Do you think him cheating on every single one of his wives and divorcing multiple times is upholding family values?
I can't say that it is, but I do have to say that it's not always the perfect people that make the path for what is to be right, you know, like what is good. It's not always the good people. Sometimes it's the bad people that have to do bad things to make sure that we, as a country, stay able to stay true to the pure family, the basis of society.
I disagree with that. I think that Kamala Harris would have expanded families in this country to a greater extent by expanding the child tax credit, expanding access to health care and childcare in this country. What do you mean by a pure family?
I grew up and I still believe that marriage is between a man and a woman. And I mean, I don't mind. Other people can do whatever they want, but I don't think they need to involve legally allowing anything other than men and women.
Okay, what is the relevant difference between two atheists getting married who are men and women and two men getting married who are atheists as well? What's the relevant difference? Because they're both not under God.
I mean, I think God and biology and science, all basics down to the same thing.
But they're not under God in either scenario.
I mean, even though
why do you think I should be able to get married as an atheist? My girlfriend's an atheist. Why do you think that we should be able to get married? But you don't think that gay people should be able to get married? Because there's literally no distinction because they're both not under God, under your view. Which, by the way, I do think that there's nothing in the Bible that says that gay marriage is wrong, by the way.
I know there's some scriptures that touch on it. I can't say that I know the exact ones.
There's only claims of scriptures addressing intercourse, not marriage. And even so, I don't think that any of those claims come from God or from Jesus. I don't think any of those claims specifically, right, are grounded in actual legitimate interpretations of gay intercourse in marriage. I think it's prescriptions about either fornication outside of the context of marriage, right, or prescriptions from individuals, and also prescriptions from individuals in which are not God. God never talked about it. Jesus never talked about it.
Well, I keep coming back to throughout history, all countries before they fell became more liberated. They opened up to all those departing from biology, and then they fell. Has there been any country
how is it departing from biology to have gay sex?
That's not what God intended.
Okay, did God intend for us to have oral sex? Is that wrong?
It's between a man and a woman, no?
Okay, but was that intended by God? That doesn't create procreation. So why is oral sex between a man and a woman okay, but not between a man and a man or a woman and a woman?
I mean, based on biology, what are we made for? We're made to have babies, right?
I don't think our mouths were made to do that. How are our mouths made to do that? I think that's something that we choose to do ourselves. That's not. I don't think it's like biology formed us to do that or something. It's something that we can do because we happen to have those characteristics, but I don't think biology made it necessary for us to do that. It's not necessary for procreation.
I mean, we definitely got a little further on this topic than I thought we'd get in this.
But the point that I'm making is that there's nothing different about that in the scenarios. It's oral in both scenarios. So then why is it considered wrong in one scenario but not the other one? There's no relevant difference.
I can't claim to know everything God knows. I just know that He's directed us to be unified as a family, and
God never said that it's wrong to engage in gay marriage.
I mean, do you know much about the Mormon Church?
I know some. I'm not familiar with everything, but I mean, you can change your understandings. You guys did already.
Well,
there was just like one day the church was like, okay, black people are now considered human. They're now considered people now. And you guys now abide by it. So why can't you do the same thing for gay people?
And that's a big thing in the church is continued revelation. So we have prophets on the earth right now, and they're clarifying, in real time what we should do, what God wants us to do right now. And it's clarified through them that, like I said, I don't think that they should be stopped, or I don't think I can meddle in their lives, but I don't think that it should be governmentally allowed. I think we should make America great again. I think we need to go back.
You are meddling in their lives then. You're saying your religious fundamentalism, your religious extremism should be forced in the law, and you should restrict people who are not Christian from being able to get married. Because you can't just apply it specifically to people who are gay. It has to apply to all individuals that are not getting married under God. But then does that also apply to everyone who is not under your specific religious interpretation of Scripture? Because then their marriages aren't real. So then, like, at a certain point, if you say everything outside of the context of Christian marriages should not be allowed, well, then you're just arguing only for your interpretation or denomination. And you're not going to get enough people on your side to be able to argue that ever, because there's not enough Mormons in the entirety of the country to be able to do that in federal legislation.
I mean, that's fair. I guess that's why we have to give and take on certain things, allowing...
That's why we live in a secular
bad
society.
People in the government to...
That's why secular society is so great, because we can all live together. Whereas if we lived by your rules, I wouldn't want to live in that society. That's incredibly oppressive. I would want to change that.
And you think that a society with no structure would be sustainable?
This is structure. Secular society has structure. Do you think we have structure right now? Do you think we had structure under Biden?
I think we're trying to keep it.
We had structure. So then,
Sorry, what'd you say?
We can have structure without religion. I don't understand why religion is the only basis for structure under your view.
I think it's more so a backup of why I believe certain things rather than the need for it to be the sole structure. I think there's certain, sorry, I'm trying to think of the word, beliefs, or I guess standards, morals, I don't know, that even outside of religion can be agreed upon, and what keeps a country stable more than a firm society set upon firm rules. I don't know. I think if you keep allowing more and more, I don't know, it'll cause it to fall.
Okay. How can I not have firm rules under my society?
No, I think we should have firm rules. Sorry, maybe I didn't understand.
How do I not have firm rules under the society that I'm advocating for? I still think I have firm rules. It depends on the context, though. Like, I just don't understand how only religion can give you firm rules. You're not really giving me an argument for that.
I mean, I guess what I'm saying is a country needs firm rules. And the reason I support Trump and what he's doing is because he needs to keep America, he needs to keep us in that purity of the basic structures.
I don't even know what that means. Can you be specific? What purity of basic structures? What does that mean?
Well, keeping it us, making sure that the people in this country, it's survival of the fittest. So we need to make sure that our people are building up together and strengthening each other, and we can't let other
Is Trump the fittest?
At this time, yeah.
You think President Big Mac is the fittest president we've had? President Big Mac. Have you seen him do any exercise? Have you ever seen President Big Mac do any exercise?
Seen him walk up and down the stairs.
I've seen him fall on the stairs.
I've seen that as well. You
guys made fun of Biden when that happened, but apparently it's okay when Trump does it. So again, him walking upstairs is not exercise. Come on. I walk up the stairs when I go live. Is that exercise? No. I'm like one of the most sedentary people ever, okay? I don't think me walking up the stairs to go live is going to be exercise. I guess in like a literal sense to some degree it is, but like it's what we mean by exercise in this context is like a little bit more than that,
Okay, maybe I'm not understanding.
Do you think him riding around on his golf cart is exercise?
I don't know how we got talking about exercise.
I mean, because you brought up fitness. You said survival of the fittest.
Oh, yeah. I don't think
Trump is the fittest individual. Trump is clearly not the fittest individual.
Depends on how you look at it. I mean, if you look at it from the person who is willing to make the gruesome decisions to stay alive and out survive everyone else, out survive the country, I don't know.
So are you saying like physically, or are you saying like in terms of what they do?
In terms of, I mean, it can be both, but with Trump's decisions on
since it can be golf or sorry, not golf, both. Let's take a quick look. This is President DJT right here. Here's President DJT. This is actually literally the first picture that comes up when you type in Trump golfing. No joke. The first picture that comes up. So this is President DJT right here. President DJT. Do you think President DJT is in the fittest possible state?
Always adds 10 pounds, you know?
You said what?
The camera always adds 10 pounds. You've never
The
had a
camera
bad picture?
does? The camera does? What?
What is
the
his weight listed on?
the camera.
What is his weight listed on Google?
I don't know, but I don't think he's the most fit setting, dude. He's clearly not the most fit president. I'm not saying he's like the least fit person ever. I'm just saying he's clearly not the most fit person ever. This, by the way, the same thing's true about me. I'm not the most fit person ever. But like advocating that we're like survival of the fittest, like the most fit persons ever in this position is ridiculous with Trump, right? Like that's obviously not what's true here. Trump's not the most fit. Zach, think of the $20 for how many cameras did he eat? That's crazy.
What about...
You said the camera had 10 pounds. That's hilarious, bro. Oh my gosh, no way.
What about us as a country, though? Survival of us as a country.
Survival.
Do you think...
Okay, so how is Trump making us survive more? I think he's making it worse off when he goes to war with Iran.
I can't claim to know.
Okay. So then how is he actually preserving our life to a greater extent, or preserving family in this country? I would say that he's doing so to a lesser extent. Because Democrats, they expand access to healthcare, childcare, housing affordability, and the basic fundamental tenets of what people need to have families in this country. Actually
Like
support
what?
family. The expanding of the child tax credit, the $25,000 tax credit for first-time home buyers for new homes. Those are obviously expanding access to things that people need. The universal access to healthcare, public option, that would expand access to that. Expanding maternity care in this country. And paternity care, like paternity leave and maternity leave.
I feel like a lot of that goes back to motivating the people to do what they need to do to work, to build the country, to not be lazy and rely on the government. I think it's good that they're cutting back. I think it's good that people are having to go out and get a job and do true, honest work.
People are not as able to get a job right now because the labor market's horrible. Like, we had the worst year of job growth in the past 4 years because of Trump's tariff policy. So you just say, oh, people can go out and get a job to a lesser extent.
I mean, you don't think that people can go out and sign up to be DoorDash drivers? I mean, I don't even think you have to apply to do that. And there you go, you have a job.
Yeah, but you understand that not every single area gets the same amount of like work. Like if you live in a more rural area, you're not going to get much work doing that. You have to live in a big city. You have to have access to a car. You have to have access to the wear and tear on your vehicle. There is an application process. There's gas you have to pay for. Especially right now, it's really expensive. Especially with Trump increasing gas prices by imposing the war with Iran. How affordable is that right now?
I mean, I think we need to be in big cities, and I know that there's a lot of DoorDash and what is it? The other food app that bike delivered. You don't have to
So
have
are
a
you saying
car.
that
You
you
don't
need
have
to
to
go
have
to
gas.
predominantly Democratic areas to get jobs? Is that what you just said? You just said the big cities. Are you saying you have to go to predominantly Democratic areas to get jobs because the Republican areas don't have them?
I think that Republicans are hardworking, and
Then
people
why do
need
the
help
Republican
often.
areas have less jobs? Why are the
sure.
Democratic states and cities paying into the systems and disproportionately funding the red and rural areas?
I mean, that also goes back to farmers and entrepreneurs and people who have their own business.
Wait, let's
Just 'cause you
specifically
can't
let's go into that. Let's go into that real quick. Why are the Democratic cities and states the ones that are funding into the system more than they're getting, and the red states are the ones taking more from the system than they're putting in?
Sorry, say that again?
Yeah, why are the Democratic states the ones paying more into the system than they're getting from it, and the Republican ones are taking more than they're putting in disproportionately?
I mean, do you have that numbers in relation to farmers versus people who are living in a city and not contributing as much as feeding America and doing the things?
I don't know why we're just referencing farming. We're not just referencing that. I'm referencing from a federal government standpoint, and even from a local government standpoint, like or a state government standpoint. Like what's it called? The big cities are absolutely the ones that fund the rural communities' access to services to a greater extent. That's a fact. Because that's where a lot of the jobs are, that's where a lot of the GDP growth is, that's where a lot of the tax revenue comes from. Okay, so we're literally funding red areas. So if it is the case that Republicans are so hardworking, why are they the ones that are being taken care of to a greater extent by the federal government, disproportionately?
What's that money going into?
Say that again?
What is that money going into that's going disproportionately to the red states?
into social services to benefit those red states.
And it's more than in the cities?
Well, it's funded by the cities disproportionately, is what I'm saying, because that's where the revenue comes from. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that does make sense. I guess I come from a farming community, and so it makes sense because a lot of the red areas, red states are the farming communities, and we need the big cities to fund.
But that doesn't make sense. I don't know why farmers are, because farmers get screwed over by the Republicans.
How so?
Wow, so Trump imposed tariffs that screwed over farmers.
I'm not sure about that.
Well, it's a fact. They get
still think
subsidies
it's
from the
better.
government, and like don't the Republicans broadly, like at least they did historically, they wanted to cut those subsidies because they just want to leave it up to the free market.
I guess I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, so even before Trump, they were still trying to cut shit for farmers. So it's like
I don't know. Just because I don't know. I feel like if there's more people in the city, they can make more money and fund everyone. I don't know why.
But like this
I feel
whole
like
argument
just
was that
makes
like
sense.
Republicans are harder workers. I see no good evidence to indicate that. You know who are harder workers? Immigrants. They have a higher labor force participation rate than natural-born U.S. citizens. Do you want more immigrants to come to our society?
No.
But they are hard workers. They work to a greater
Well, we need
extent
to
than
keep-
natural-born U.S. citizens.
Well, I mean, if they come legally, then yes.
But like, should we make the legal process go significantly quicker?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so you agree with Democratic policy on immigration then. Trump is the one that undermined the legal process going quicker by calling for people in Congress to undermine the bipartisan border bill that would have made the legal process go significantly quicker.
Well,
Trump said, blame it on me if the border bill failed.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know I can't say I know how to respond to that.
Okay. So why do you support Trump? Because I think he's made this country worse. We have lower real GDP growth in 2025 as compared to 2024. We have lower real median wage growth in 2025 as compared to 2024. We had lower real domestic manufacturing investment every single quarter of Trump's administration. Lower real business investment since Trump got in office. Gas prices are higher since Trump got in office, which means inflation will be higher than when Trump got in office, very likely. Along with the fact that he's brought us to war with Iran, right? And literally, also, we saw the worst year of job growth in the past 4 years. So, I mean, with all of these indications being the case, why would you say that Trump is a better candidate when practically every measure of our economy and our society has gotten worse off since Trump got in office?
His tax policy.
Which the tax cuts that disproportionately went to the rich and wealthy, while simultaneously cutting 420,000 children off of free school lunch and breakfast on average every single month off the big beautiful bill, or through the big beautiful bill. While adding $3.4 trillion to the debt, cutting 10 million people off their access to health insurance and over 2.5 million people off their access to food stamps on average every single month. Again, most of the tax cuts went to the rich and wealthy. Kamala Harris would have kept all the tax cuts applicable to income earners under $400,000 a year and would have expanded the child tax credit, a housing tax credit, and tax cuts for working class people.
I think it goes back to the hard workers and people who are willing to go out and work and make that money. We should be able to get tax cuts. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's what Kamala Harris is wanting to do. She wants to give tax cuts to working class people.
I mean, I've definitely benefited from the tax cuts that Trump has put in.
Okay. And Kamala Harris would have maintained all of those for income earners under $400,000 a year and only would have increased taxes on income over $400,000 a year.
Yeah, and I don't want increased taxes.
So you're saying you make over 400 grand a year?
My family does.
Okay. So if you do, then you can pay a little bit more on that income over 400K, and that's not a big deal. That creates a better society than forcing people who are making less to pay that. Why would you want that? And it's only on the income over 400K.
Because my family and our farm works hard for that money that we get. We put so much money down, so much money into it that we need every penny that we can get. I mean,
I'm talking on income you take out. Income as an individual that you take out, if it exceeds 400K, you will pay a slightly higher percentage on that amount over 400K. So are you saying that each of you individually take over 400K in income?
No.
Okay, so it's only for the income over 400K for the individuals that take individual income over 400K. Otherwise, you're not going to have an increase in tax.
But I'm saying that, I mean, I hope to get there one day. And I'm saying that I don't think that my dad should, I don't know, have to keep supporting people who aren't putting in the hard work.
Okay, so you don't want to support people who aren't putting in. I think they are still, and we're just supporting people so that they can work harder in the future, because the fact that they're not even given a shot to be able to do so in most circumstances due to the conditions in the economy. So the social safety net is a baseline for people so that they can take care of themselves in the future. That's all it is. It's a social safety net. It catches you if you fall.
Okay. And I didn't feel like my dad had a shot at making it and getting his business to where he did. I mean, he came from nothing and built it up. And I don't know. I feel like that's just an excuse. If you work hard enough, you could do anything. I've seen it with my own eyes.
Okay, so you say if you work hard, you can do anything. I've seen it with my own eyes. Sure. Well, we want to make that true for everyone to a greater extent by expanding social mobility, expanding access to education, and other types of things that, increase social mobility. And that's a good thing, right? We're going to do that, right? And that's what we want to do. But that also means that we have taxes for the highest levels of income over $400,000 a year individually to be able to account for the systems that we need. Is that an issue? A slightly higher percent over 400K? Hello?
I don't know. I think it leads into people not wanting to make as much money. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. What'd you say?
I feel like it motivates people to not want to make as much money. To get under that line, to not work as hard.
Well, that's
Because why
not what's
work
true
harder
based
if you're
upon
just
the
gonna
data.
have to
The data
pay-
indicates that it actually leads to people specifically working to a greater extent in the long run. It increases labor force participation rate over time.
And how long does that process take?
What? I mean, that's a continual process that always exists because of the fact that there's the systems already in place.
But it takes time to self-adjust, right?
Of
So we're
course.
just barely getting
That's
into
what,
Trump's
like
presidency.
a safety
and you're
net.
saying
A
all these
safety net
numbers are
catches
going
you,
over.
and it takes time for you to adjust to the fact that you got caught by the net.
Yeah, and Trump is just in office, and we're seeing the results of Biden and all those other phony politicians. And Trump is doing what we need to do to get back. Yeah, it's kind of crazy right now because he has to bring it all back from Biden.
Okay, so you're saying Biden made things worse. What did he do to make the economy worse? Because again, basically every metric of the economy has got worse since Trump got in office.
I mean, I'm saying it's a result of the processes.
It's not.
put in
It's a
place.
result of Trump and his policies.
How can you say that there's no cause from Biden if these processes take?
What did Biden do to cause it? Tell
He
me.
took us to war too.
What new war did he start?
I don't know about a new war, but he didn't stop reinforcing all the wars.
He didn't stop doing what?
I mean, we're always at war with people, right?
So
Defending our
he
country.
didn't pull us out of war, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Um.
and he let all the illegals in.
Okay. So you understand that Trump started wars, right?
Yes.
So why would you prefer
And
the
I
person who
support.
started war over the person who didn't start war?
I think Biden didn't do anything. He wasn't taking the risks that he needed to.
Okay. You said Biden didn't do anything. He's not taking the risks. Biden did do a lot. The Bipartisan Infrastructure Bill, the CHIPS and Science Act, the PACT Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. Okay, I can give you countless examples. What did Biden do that was bad?
He made us look like a fool. He brought up gas prices.
That's what Trump did. Trump just brought up gas prices.
Yeah, but it's going to go down from here.
Wait,
You
I'm
have to
sorry.
experience-
It went down after Biden. It went up under Biden. And it wasn't because of Biden. It was because Russia invaded Ukraine.
I mean, you don't think we were
And because of
involved
Trump's
in that?
OPEC deal, by the way. Trump's OPEC deal, once it ended, gas prices declined. You know that, right?
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. You should watch Mr. Global.
What is that?
He's a TikToker who specializes in oil market.
Maybe I'll have to do some more research, get a little, more familiar. But I mean, I can't say that I think everything that Trump did is great, but I don't know. I trust him a lot more than I trust Kamala.
Kamala? Why so
I
that?
don't know. She just didn't seem right in the head.
Yeah, but why?
I mean, I don't know. I've seen a lot of clips that, I don't know. She seems like she just says things, but doesn't really have anything to back that up.
Can you give me any specific examples?
Not off the top of my head.
Because, did she say we should look into disinfectant by injection to fight COVID-19? Did
I'm
she
not
say
sure.
that windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before? Did she say that we should nuke hurricanes to fight them?
I don't know.
Oh, wait, that was Trump? Did she look at, did she look at an eclipse twice with her bare eyes?
I
Nope,
mean,
that
who-
was Trump.
who didn't do
So then,
that?
if all of these things we can mention are true about Trump, but we can't give any examples of Kamala Harris doing this, why do we believe this to be true about Kamala Harris, but we don't believe this to be true about Donald Trump?
I feel like Kamala leans into all the, because we all know COVID-19 wasn't real. It was a hoax. It was just testing and going around and trying to see how far they could convince us to go, how much they could convince us to believe.
Why was my dad dying? Why did my grandma die? What do you mean it wasn't real? What do you mean it was a hoax?
Did they
My
get
dad
the
almost
vaccine?
died. My grandma literally died. What happened? Did it just randomly occur?
I'm really sorry to hear about both of those. But I mean, there was other sickness going on. It's not like other sicknesses ceased to exist.
It was specifically COVID.
And how do you know that?
How do I know that? Because that was in the autopsy report. My grandma had COVID, and because she already had dementia and she got COVID, it led to her dying. We literally couldn't see her during COVID because of the fact that this was happening. I wasn't even able to celebrate. Well, actually not celebrate. Sorry, that's a horrible way to say it. I wasn't even able to go to the funeral, right? Or be there for her because of the fact that that happened until literally way after, until my grandpa died. We didn't even end up doing it until then.
I'm
Technically
sorry.
celebrate
I
her
don't-
life. I just wanted to clarify because I just don't want to say it that way, you know? But like, and then my dad, like literally developed myocarditis because of COVID and was in the hospital and almost died because of COVID. And also my dad works in the hospital, right? Like was seeing COVID all the time, dealing with COVID patients. Was that just fake? All of that was fake. The increase in the amount of people going into the hospital was completely fake.
I don't know. I don't want to say anything or anything against your I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I'm just going to be honest. When you say things like COVID was a hoax, that's what you're saying. I know, like, when I bring up the specific personal examples of what happened to me, it humanizes it for you. But, like, it should have been that way prior. Because, I mean, millions of people's lives were affected because of this. Literally over 1 million people died in this country, right? And that means, they just left, by the way. That means 1 million different people with families, right? With people who they knew in their life. With acquaintances. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of people. Jeez, yeah, that was a lot to deal with. That was a lot. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, we got a misinformation flag, too.